armed with our motto, let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure. Here we are with a remote
Students, today we are going to continue with Humidity and Clouds Part 3. In this, we are going to study with the formation of clouds and the types of clouds. Clouds. Clouds are a form of condensation at higher elevation. A visible mass of fine particles of ice and water accumulate around the dust particles in the air at high altitude is called a cloud. That is, because of condensation, fine particles of ice and water float in the air at a great height. They accumulate around dust particles in the air and become larger in size. Their accumulation together is called a cloud. Because of vertical flow of the wind, they float in the atmosphere. Students, you must have seen a kite which floats in the air. As it moves higher and higher, the cloud too float in the atmosphere because of vertical flow. Clouds are found at different altitudes above the mean sea level. Clouds which form at greater altitudes are formed from very fine snow particles. The process of evaporation and condensation occur consequently in the clouds. Here, in the given table, we can see the classifications of clouds. Clouds are classified on the basis of their altitude. That is, high clouds, then medium clouds, and low clouds. In the table, we can see the type of clouds. First three, that is, high clouds called as cirrus, cirrostratus, cirrocumulus. These clouds, the altitude in meters is 7,000 to 14,000 meters of height. We find these clouds. Medium clouds, altostratus, altocumulus, found at an altitude of 2,000 to 7,000 meters. Then the next one, that is low clouds, stratocumulus, stratus, nimbostratus, cumulus, cumulonimbus, less than 2000 meters of altitude, and the extent could be variable for the cumulus and cumulonimbus clouds. In this given figure, we can see the different types of clouds classified on the basis of altitude. Now, when you think of a cloud, what image comes to your mind? You might be thinking of a fluffy white mass in the sky that looks like a bunny. Maybe you're picturing a dark gray cloud that looks a little scary. Now, there are many different kinds of clouds, what you might be imagining, and that you can see in the figure. Now, clouds are formed at different altitudes in the atmosphere. After you observe this figure, we'll see there are three main types of clouds classified on the basis of their height, that is altitude. The height from the base of the clouds is taken into consideration. If the clouds are at an altitude of 7,000 to 14,000 meters, then they are considered as very high clouds. High clouds, we can see they are classified in the figure, that is cirrostratus, then it is cirrus and cirrocumulus. If these clouds we find at an altitude of 2000 to 7000 meters, then they are considered as medium clouds. Medium clouds, we can see in the figure classified, and these medium clouds are altocumulus and altostratus. And the last, that is the low cloud. We find them at an altitude of less than 2000 meters. And there are 5 different types of low clouds which we are going to study in this chapter. First, we will study in detail about the high clouds. What are high clouds? High clouds, first thing, we find high clouds at an altitude of 7,000 to 14,000 meters of height. High clouds are mainly made up of ice particles, and they can be classified into cirrus, cirrocumulus, and cirrostratus. High clouds. High clouds are classified into cirrus, cirrocumulus, and cirrostratus. Let us study with the cirrus clouds. Cirrus cloud. classification symbol, that is CI, is a genus of atmospheric cloud generally characterized by thin, wispy strands, giving the type its name from the Latin word cirrus, meaning a ringlet or curling lock of hair. Genus, that is group or class. Wispy means feathery, thin, or frail. Cirrus clouds are composed of ice crystals that originate from the freezing of super cooling water droplets. The next type of high clouds is cirrocumulus clouds. In the given figure, we can see the cirrocumulus clouds. Now, these clouds are small, rounded puffs that usually appear in long rows high in the sky. Now, when these clouds cover a lot of the sky, they can look like the scales of a fish. Cirrocumulus are common in winter and indicate fair but cold weather. Cirrocumulus clouds look like groups of small waves. The third type of high cloud is cirrostratus cloud. In this slide, we can see the images of different cirrostratus clouds. Let us study the features of cirrostratus clouds. First, cirrostratus are like a bedsheet with wrinkles that we can see in the first figure. Second, cirrostratus clouds are high, thin clouds that usually cover the entire sky. The clouds are so thin that the sun or a moon can sometimes shine through and appear to have a halo as light hits the ice crystal and bends. We can see in the second image the clouds cover, or they are so thin that the sun and the moon are visible. They shine through and appear to have a halo. Now, what is a halo? Halo, it means a circle of white or colored light around the sun or moon. Now see, students, when we talk about cirrostratus clouds, they start as feathery mare's tails that may grow and layers into thin sheet-like clouds. Besides foretelling a possible change in the weather, cirrostratus clouds may reflect the light from the sun or moon, creating colorful and sometimes airy effects. These fascinating clouds occur high in the troposphere, where water molecules freeze into ice crystals. We have studied with high clouds. Now we proceed to medium clouds. Medium clouds, clouds that an altitude of around 2000 to 7000 meters, they are considered to be medium clouds. Now these clouds, they include altocumulus and altostratus. Altocumulus clouds. Altocumulus clouds are in the form of layers and have a wave-like structure. They are mostly white in color and have a gray shade. Altocumulus, taken from Latin word altus, that is high, cumulus, hipped, is a middle altitude cloud. Altocumulus clouds are small, mid-level layers or patches of clouds called cloudlets, which most commonly exist in the shape of rounded clumps. Altocumulus are made up of a mix of ice and water, giving them a slightly more ethereal appearance than the big and fluffy lower level cumulus. Altostratus cloud is the second type of medium cloud. Altostratus clouds are mostly white in color and have a gray shade. Altostratus are not very thick. The sun can be seen through them as if seen through a milky glass. These clouds are known as middle-level clouds. Altostratus clouds, in the figure we can see they are grey and bluish grey clouds that seems to take up the entire sky. On days when there are altostratus clouds, the sun is not very visible. Have you ever seen dark, smoky gas coming out of an exhaust pipe or an old car? You can think of altostratus clouds like those clouds of gas because they are dark and spread to cover almost the whole sky. Students, we have studied with clouds. and the type of clouds, which includes high clouds and medium clouds. In part 4, we will be studying with low clouds and the types of low clouds. Thank you.